So is Xi Jinping really about to invade Taiwan? A closer look at the military purge inside China will reveal the answer. One of the most common concerns I hear in response to my recent video about why Taiwan is one of the most overlooked investment opportunities in Asia is this. Isn't Taiwan too risky? Won't Xi Jinping invade any day now? I get it. The fear of a Chinese military invasion looms large over any discussion of Taiwan's future, especially for investors. So why put money into a country that could become the next Ukraine? But here's the thing. The surface level narrative that Xi Jinping is on an unstoppable march to take Taiwan by force ignores the internal chaos unraveling inside China's military. And let's talk about the unprecedented purge of top generals within the People's Liberation Army, PLA, and what it really means for Xi's ability and willingness to launch a war across the Taiwan Strait. First, the 2027 Taiwan invasion deadline myth. Let's start with the 2027 date that keeps getting thrown around. Some analysts claim that Xi Jinping has given the PLA until 2027 to be ready to take Taiwan by force if necessary. This idea has created panic in geopolitical circles and sparked countless headlines speculating about imminent war. But here's the question nobody asks. What condition is the PLA actually in right now? If you look beyond the military parades and propaganda videos, what you will find is a military undergoing one of the most aggressive internal purges in modern Chinese history. One that suggests Xi Jinping does not trust the very generals who are supposed to lead this war. In the last year, a wave of high-ranking PLA officers have either disappeared from the public view, been demoted, or are rumored to have been detained or investigated. These aren't low-level officials. They are Xi Jinping's own men, the generals he personally promoted, entrusted with major military roles. Take He Weidong, for example, the second most powerful man in the PLA and vice chairman of the Central Military Commission. He was deeply involved in Taiwan invasion planning and served as a core architect of the PLA's combat scenarios for an amphibious assault across the strait. Now he's gone. Other top figures like Hongjun and Miao Hua have also vanished or are reportedly under investigation. These men weren't just military administrators. They were involved in morale, ideology, political loyalty, and human resources for the armed forces. They were the glue that kept the system together. And Xi's campaign to root out disloyalty and corruption in the upper ranks of the PLA has created a climate of fear. Generals now know that getting too powerful, too visible, or even too effective can be a career-ending or life-ending mistake. And this matters for one simple reason. You can't start a war when you don't trust the people supposed to fight it. The removal of senior officers, especially those tasked with Taiwan-related operations, raises a red flag, not just about military readiness, but about Xi Jinping's personal confidence in the institution that he commands. Think about it. If Xi was truly gearing up for war, would he be purging the architects of that war plan? Or is it more likely that Xi is deeply insecure about what his military is telling him? That he's worried that they have been feeding him overly positive and optimistic projections, or worse, lying outright about the PLA's readiness to take on the US, Japan, and Taiwan's advanced defense-ready forces. It's also likely that Xi suspects some of his generals are more loyal to their own internal networks than to him personally. That's a major problem in a system where trust is everything. And Xi's regime is built not on merit, but on loyalty. And another key point often overlooked in Western commentary is that Xi Jinping is not a risk taker by nature. He's a control freak. Every major move he has made, from anti-corruption crackdowns to draconian COVID lockdowns to the tech sector's crackdown, has been about tightening his grip on power. War, especially war against the US-backed Taiwan, is the one thing Xi cannot control once it starts. It's not like cracking down on Jack Ma or censoring social media. The war is messy, unpredictable, and carries real risks of humiliation or escalation. And right now, the PLA is plagued by scandals, power struggles, and internal distrust. Its top ranks are under surveillance, its mid-level officers are watching their backs, and the rest of the force is demoralized by the atmosphere of purges and paranoia. So, would you bet your legacy on that army? No, and neither would Xi, at least not now. So what this means for Taiwan and for investors, let's circle back to the original concern. Is Taiwan too risky to invest in because of the threat of war? The answer is no. In fact, the threat of war, while real, has arguably decreased in the short to medium term precisely because of what's happening inside the PLA. Xi's iron grip on the military has created a brittle command structure where no one dares to act decisively, and everyone is afraid of being the next target to fall. Launching an invasion under these conditions would be not just reckless, it would be suicidal for Xi's rule. And if there's one thing we have learned about Xi over the last decade, it's that he will always choose power preservation over ideological crusades. Yes, Taiwan will always face pressure from Beijing. Yes, tensions may flare, but invasion is not imminent. And the deeper story unfolding inside China's military suggests that Xi may be further from launching a war than he has ever been before. For investors, this means something important. Don't mistake headlines for strategy. Taiwan's economy, companies, and capital markets are still operating at full strength. The ideological noise is loud, but when you look closer, the fundamentals remain sound, and the invasion narrative, while emotionally powerful, doesn't match the reality inside Xi's own war machine. If you really want to understand where the war is coming, don't just watch what Xi says about Taiwan. Watch who disappears. When generals vanish, it doesn't mean war is coming. It means Xi is still cleaning house, still trying to build an army he can trust. Until that job is done, it's highly unlikely he'll risk rolling the dice on Taiwan. So yes, Taiwan is investable. In fact, it may be one of the most mispriced opportunities in Asia today, precisely because fear has blinded people to the facts. As always, do your own research, but dig deeper than the headlines, and that's where the truth hides.